Welcome to the 2025 Delaware Arts Summit. We are so excited to have you here today. Thank you. A century and a half ago, the curtain was raised at the Grand Opera House for the first time. A few years later, in 1890, Wilmington mill owner Samuel Bancroft bought his first piece of pre-Raphaelite art, the start of what would become the Delaware Art Museum. In 1904, in today's Schwartz Center for the Arts, the Dover Opera House opened, hosting vaudeville acts and magic lantern shows. In the 1920s, a group of friends began meeting in each other's homes, reading plays to each other. They called themselves the Wilmington Drama League. In Henlopen Acres, artists came together in 1938 to teach and exhibit their work, forming the Rehoboth Art League. In Millsboro, in 1940s and 50s, Lionel Hampton, Count Basie, and Duke Ellington could be heard performing at the Rosedale Beach Hotel, a popular venue for Black performers in the era of segregation. Just down the street from here, on Delaware Avenue, Maurice Wojcicki rescued a historic building in 1983, and the Delaware Children's Theater was born. A group of committed parents wanted a creative outlet for their kids, and Cab Calloway School of the Arts opened in 1992. A year later, the Biggs Museum of American Art was founded in Dover. These are just a few examples in Delaware's long, proud history of being a place that fosters, nurtures, and supports a vibrant arts and culture scene. The list goes on and continues today with new programs, venues, and initiatives constantly springing up across the state, with many of you at the helm. That's what brings us together here today. Building on our state's powerful legacy, today's summit is about exploring how we in this community can continue to empower each other to push the arts forward. We're here to ensure that the future of the arts in Delaware is as rich as Delaware's past. Of course, no discussion of the future would be complete without first acknowledging the realities of the present. We need look no further than today's keynote speaker to be reminded that we are in uncertain times. Many of you are facing unprecedented funding challenges. Others are grappling with how to continue doing your work with integrity, exercising the freedom of expression that is so fundamental to the arts without jeopardizing your very existence. And to be sure, even for those of you whose livelihoods are not directly threatened by the changing federal landscape, an erosion of the value placed on the arts takes an undeniable mental toll. And so while it is important that we put these challenges on the table, I believe we need not dwell on them. Why? Because we as a community have the strong foundation, depth of relationships, and institutional resilience to weather this storm. Just look at what we've accomplished together over the last several years. Together, we've raised awareness among the public and among public officials about the value of a strong arts and culture sector. By example, we created the Delaware Arts and Culture Caucus, a bipartisan, bicameral body in the General Assembly dedicated to advancing policies that strengthen our industry. And our work has borne fruit. While the federal government and other states are cutting funding for the arts, we've seen a $2.5 million increase in the state arts budget over the last 3 years. Delaware is third in the nation in per capita public funding for the arts. And we are building on this support strategically, thoughtfully, and intentionally. We launched the CREATE Plan, driving groundbreaking research designed to propel Delaware's creative economy and cultural tourism sector forward. The plan, developed with input from many of you, is a first of its kind in the nation, and it gives us a blueprint for navigating the post-pandemic challenges facing our sector. We've piloted innovative new programs like the Delaware Arts Equity and Innovation Incubator to help strengthen arts organizations and position them to grow. We've increased our investment in individual artists through new grant funds and new programming centered on professional development and business best practices. Through these investments, we've become deeply embedded in the economic fabric of our state and in the intellectual lives of our communities. The bottom line is this: with the hard work of everyone in this room, we've successfully positioned ourselves as essential to vibrant communities, to a resilient economy, and to a healthier, more connected citizenry. We're no longer waiting in the wings, asking to be recognized. We are at the table. So the question becomes, how do we build on this success? Our goal at the Delaware Division of the Arts is to make Delaware an internationally known destination for culture and creativity, and to continue to fortify the connections between the arts and other sectors of society, like health, education, and supporting our veterans and our senior citizens. To do this, we'll continue to foster partnerships we've built with the Delaware Division of Libraries, the Division of Aging, Parks and Recreation, and the Office of Veterans Services. We'll look to expand partnerships with the Division of Small Business and the Departments of Transportation, Labor, and Housing. The Division of the Arts is committed to being more than a source of funding for you all. We are committed to being your partner in growing a healthy arts ecosystem. Our guest speaker today was the longtime head of the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. The Washington, D.C. venue was named for President Kennedy, who championed the arts for their contribution to the human spirit. In a different context and a different time, a young Senator John F. Kennedy stood right here at the Hotel DuPont addressing a crowd of dejected members of his own party who'd been handed a defeat with the election of President Eisenhower. In charting a course for how to move past the setback, Senator Kennedy energized the crowd of Delawareans with these words: "We have been welded together by a philosophy of progress. We have been welded together by a philosophy of progress." I think that well describes the bond present among us in this room today. Built on the foundation of our state's proud legacy of cultivating the arts, bolstered through a shared history of resilience in the face of storms, we are welded together by a philosophy of progress that's going to carry our community forward. And so let me close by challenging all of you to take hold of the momentum we've built together, to be agents of change, advancing new ideas and practices, to ensure that the next century and a half of the arts in Delaware is as vibrant and dynamic as the last. That means getting involved in advocacy. Join the Delaware Arts Alliance, support their efforts. Embrace community. Look to those seated around you right now. You'll see an embarrassment of riches of willing and creative partners who want to help each other succeed. And above all, don't be afraid to tell your story. Showcase your work, share your impact. There are no better ambassadors for the arts than all of you. It's incredibly inspiring to look out at this crowd, a clear display of the strength of our community. Thank you for taking the time to come here today, and thank you for all that you do to support this vital sector.